Guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be about some of the booktubers that I love watching. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but I did not know how to link booktubers or channels, so I had to learn how to do that so that you can follow these people. And I want to start off by saying to my blind friends who have subscribed to me that these booktubers are all very blind friendly because they usually give you the descriptions of the books and mention the titles of the books. I found some who are so excited about the book they have that they'll just hold it up and wave it, and I never know what book it is, and then they move on to the next one. And I'm like, okay, so what was the book again? Why are we happy? And I get it. It's a video, which is a visual media, and you know, you're meant to be quote-unquote watching it, but still, it would be nice for us who don't see the book to know what the book is. Anyway, you will not have a problem with that with these booktubers. So, I will start my list. These are in no particular order, but I love them all, so here we go. First one we have is Angie Henderson. I met her as Science Mama back when the pandemic first started. She introduced me to Susan Meisner, one of my favorite historical fiction authors now. She was super into historical fiction. She still is, but now she's reading more thrillers and fantasy, which I'm not super into. I'm not really like an Agatha Christie fan or anything, but I'll read the occasional thriller, but not like she does. But anyway, I still love to follow her because I will find plenty of historical fiction gems. She's very soft-spoken and sweet and very nice when I ask her to repeat a book title. So I very much appreciate that. So yes, go give her a follow. That is Angie Henderson. Next, we have Books and Jams, Krista from Books and Jams. She is what I would call a book twin. And no, I did not invent that phrase. Katie from the Currently Reading podcast came up with that phrase, or was it Meredith? Same podcast? I'm not sure. But they use that phrase a lot. Basically, we have a ton of bookish overlap. Pretty much almost no matter what genre she's reading. She does tons of historical fiction, including World War II, which is like my thing. I love historical fiction, but especially World War II historical fiction. I don't know why. I just haven't gotten sick of it like everybody else has. But whenever I watch one of her videos, I almost always come away with a few titles that I want. And if not, I will find that she has read at least 3 titles that I have read, or wants to read titles that I've read, and I can gush about them with her. So, yeah, she is very bubbly and outgoing and very excited when she gets new books. And that is always fun to watch. So, yeah, she was one of the first ones that I subscribed to. So that is Krista from Books and Jams. Next is Lindsay's Little Library. I'm pretty sure that I found Krista through Lindsay. She was probably one of the first ones that I subscribed to. But yeah, she is also a historical fiction reader, and she likes World War II historical fiction as well, but she does do others. She is definitely a thriller reader, which I'm not as into, personally, but sometimes I'll read the occasional one. Me and Lindsay don't have as much overlap as me and Krista do, but I will definitely find some books from her when she's doing book hauls or her wrap-ups or things like that. So she's also a very bubbly personality, and I really enjoy watching her. So that is Lindsay from Lindsay's Little Library. Next is Amanda from The Curly Reader, who is another one I will call a book twin. Honestly, probably more than Krista in some ways. I think because she reads way more middle grade, and I love middle grade. So, but I don't know. There's just something about the book she reads. And I am a very picky reader. So I can watch like 10 booktube channels in a day and find absolutely nothing, but I watch 3 of her videos and I come back with 10. So, yeah, that's Amanda. Yeah, she's very into historical fiction as well. She does lots of middle grade, but it doesn't have to be those 2 genres for me to be into her books. I got interested in some of her contemporaries, some of the fantasy she reads, just even thrillers, although I'm not sure she's super into thrillers. I'm not convinced into reading dystopian, though, which is something that she has read, but the rest, yeah, definitely. She kind of reminds me of Lorelai Gilmore with how fast she talks, and she is kind of loud, which is a good thing, but, you know, like, she just makes me laugh with how fast she can talk about something, especially when she gets really excited. I really enjoy her in book hauls. So, that is Amanda from the Curly Reader. Next, we have Book Lover Amanda. We don't have a ton of overlap, but I have enjoyed some sweet stories from her. She's a Christian fiction booktuber, and I tend to like the more Christian fiction kind of romances just because they're not... The guy's usually not a jerk, at least in the ones that I've read. Unlike in some secular romances, where because the guy's a jerk, I don't like him, so won't give him a chance even when he tries to redeem himself. So yeah, Amanda has definitely given me... Book Lover Amanda. Man, there's 2 Amandas on my list. She's given me a few books that I have liked. So she's also very sweet. She's kind of hyper, and she's really giggly when she describes books, which I love. I also love her accent. I don't know if that's okay to say, but I'm saying it. I just love the way she talks. So yeah, that's Book Lover Amanda. Next we have Gloria Z. Thompson. I also followed her because she liked some of the historical fiction I read, but she also got me to read some nonfiction, which is hard to do because I'm not super into nonfiction. But she describes them so well that it made me want to read them, including... Was she the one that read The Only Plane in the Sky? I think she was. But yeah, I read that this past year, and I can't say you really love that book because it's 9/11, it's tragic, but I was really glad that I read the book, and she's got me to read other nonfiction as well. So yeah, she's kind of more soft-spoken, not quite as hyper and excited as some of the other ones I've mentioned, but she did describe a book really well. Like I said, enough for me to want to read a gigantic nonfiction book that I would have never picked up otherwise. So yeah, that is Gloria Z. Thompson. Next is Grace Filled Reads. She's also a Christian fiction booktuber. She hasn't posted in a little bit, and I can't say we have a ton of overlap either, but we have had a few books in common. And honestly, I think what made me really like her is that she really goes out of her way to read, like, the whole book synopsis. And I'm not saying that everybody should do that because that makes videos very long, as you will see from my video that I'm about to post. Because I did that for most of my books. And I appreciate the time and effort it takes to do that. But yeah, I really appreciate her doing that because it really gives you an accurate picture of the book. Although sometimes, for certain books, you may not want to. So far, I haven't run into any one of those with her, but some books, so when you read the description, they can be a little spoilery in the description, and they ruin a good part of a book. But generally speaking, I usually appreciate synopsis being read. like I said, this is not a criticism of any of the other booktubers I've mentioned. They described books well enough for me to decide whether I want to read them or not. I'm just giving Grace, I guess, the extra compliment. So, yeah, that is Grace-Filled Reads. Next, it's Mitzi Reads and Writes. I found her through, I'm pretty sure it was like favorite booktubers from the Curly Reader, from Amanda from the Curly Reader. She is one of those who reads a ton of classics, and I like her because I will always find like gems that I haven't thought of in like 20 something years. I mean, like from the time I was really little. And generally speaking, nobody else has read them. So it's really fun to talk about them with her. She also likes Lemony Snicket books, which, yeah. I mean, she's into the little kid books that I was into. So, it's just very fun to watch her go through, like, the journey as she rereads them and stuff. And she likes Anne of Green Gables, which makes her a super fan in my eyes. So, yeah, she's very bubbly and outgoing, and she's another one whose accent I love listening to when she speaks. So, yeah, she is definitely one that I love watching when I'm looking for a classic, but she also reads modern stuff too. I think she just posted a review of Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. So she does read some historical fiction too. Susan Meisner. Another Susan Meisner fan. So yeah, I love her. So that's Mitzi Reads and Writes. And last but not least, we have Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails. She's the first Christian fiction Christian fiction booktuber that I've come across. And from there, I found several more. But yeah, we have had some overlap in terms of books we've read. And she also does read some Christian fiction, historical fiction. I found a World War II book that was Christian fiction through her. I think it was called Until Leaves Fall in Paris, I think. I love that book. But yeah, I've just found a lot of books through her that I probably never would have read otherwise. So, I love Katie. She's very sweet. And she recommends a lot of booktubers through her channel. So, yeah, I like the way she supports other creators. And I look forward to more videos from her. So, those are the booktubers that I watch a lot of. I do have other ones too, but I haven't been watching them as long. These are the ones I've watched the longest. So, yeah, I will have their channels linked in the description, and you guys should go check them out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you in my next video. Ooh, good, perfect timing. My battery's about to die. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!
Close. Stop recording.